Okay, today we're going to tie a Royal Wulff. We're going to start off with a Firehole Sticks 419 in the size 14. It's just a standard dry fly hook. And I got some Veevus 10-aught black thread here in the vise. So you can just go ahead and get that thread started. And right back about halfway on that hook shank. And then you can go back to about the midway point of the thread that you have got on that hook. I'm gonna go ahead and use McFlylon, a poly yarn for these wings. I think the original pattern actually calls for calf tail or calf body or something like that. I don't really have that, so you can just go with what you got. So I'm gonna get this started on here. A couple wraps around, and you start making some X wraps to get these kind of coming out the sides. Get it something like that. Trim them off long for now. Kind of come underneath them in a figure eight. You're kind of putting these on like you would dumbbell eyes on like a clouser. And some wraps under just the hook. And then we're gonna post them like you would on a Adam's dry fly or any parachute post. Just take your time with this. It can be a little bit frustrating as this material wants to just kind of slide around. To get those posted, we want them to be fairly upright, so yeah, you can come back through and kind of X-wrap them again. Try to get those fibers to stay out where they are. Wrap all the way back. I do like, for the most part, you can see this McFlylon, they kind of almost melt those fibers together a little bit. It does help keep them out of your way some. But now we can go back and tie in our tail, which is just going to be some mousse. And because this is just a tail, you don't need a whole bunch. Just a few fibers. And then, like you do with most hair, grab the tips, get out all of the ones that are, and you're gonna have some hairs that are really curved and the tips aren't super straight. I just go ahead and pull those out too. And I just get however many, you know, I might have, well, it looks like here I got 6 fibers. Give them a quick stack. Or you could just line them up if you want. So you just have a few fibers. They still might be kind of going all over the place, but that's fine at this point. So we just want, a tail that's maybe rid of that one. That one's way out. A hook shank in length. I can just get that with a pinch wrap. And then kind of pull them to how you like them. About like that, looks pretty good to me. Get them tied in there really nice and then trim out those butt fibers. Now we're gonna have a little bit of a rib on this here, so I'm using some UTC wire in small. I would say this is the biggest that you'd want, and you could probably go with the ultras or the extra small, or like a Simplify, like 0.01, I believe is what they have. Now it's time for the body on this one, which is just going to be some Peacock Herl and some, so it's going to go a little ball of Peacock Herl, a section of red thread, or in this case I'm going to use red glow Brite, or you could use a floss. It's up to you, or up to whatever you have laying around. Okay, we got that tied in. Just kind of cord this up so it's more willing to kind of make a more like a dubbing ball back here. just cut those short. They're starting to really bug me. Okay, I like to bring this thread up to the front if I can, so that I can tie in. This glow Brite. It can be a bit of a pain to keep the other thread attached, but I'm not trying to do too much with this glow Brite. I'm just trying to get the thread covered. Just trying to cover my thread and make a little, kind of like a hot spot. So I'm really just, I start from the front, take it to the back, come back to the front, make sure that everything is covered. I don't really see any black thread poking through anywhere. A rotary vise would make this easier. I could attach it and then just hold it and let the rotary vise kind of do its thing. Okay, I'm just going to unwind this back to where I kind of was. So I'm not getting too bulky with thread. Wrap back on that glow Brite a little bit. I can come in here. Turn it up. So now we're going to come back with some more Peacock Herl and make a little ball like we did at the back of the fly. So you really have two sections with this fly. You have this back section with the tail, the two balls, and the floss, and then you have the front section. That is a little bit. And each of those sections should be about half of the hook shank. So it can be easy to, it is really easy to crowd this fly, because to try to get sections on this Peacock, and like you see here, I'm already closing in up here on these posts where I want to have some hackle behind and in front. Okay, now we're just going to take this wire. This is just kind of for some durability. Couple wraps through everything. This is where an extra small wire would be, in my opinion, better than this, but this is what I got. There we go. Helicopter that out. It's time to get that hackle in there. two hackles, two brown hackles. Tie these in back here behind everything. I like to sneak in a couple wraps in front because I got plenty of room for it, and I can still come in here and trim out these butts, and I can trim them out, kind of bend them back and trim them out way back before the hook eye. And that's probably where those get, you know, that's probably about where I want to tie this thing off. So now I will kind of see, you can see where about that those fibers are, so I know where about I can trim this to be a little bit longer than those fibers. Probably about right there with those wings. And then what I'm hoping for is 2 wraps behind and 2 wraps in front. Looks like I can maybe get 1 more wrap. This fly tends to be or have more of a big bushy hackle. So there we go, we got some wraps in front, some wraps behind. And there, trim those off close. And then we are ready for a whip finish. Try not to trap too many fibers, but if you do, you can just come in with your scissors afterwards. There, I definitely trapped a couple. You'll never know. This is such a bushy fly. There you go. That thing will float super high. Great for, you know, rough waters. Looks nice and buggy. If you like this, go ahead and give it a like, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.